Hello and welcome to Notice Tonight, the show that decodes the region. It has been a day of intense political developments in Assam today. First of all, there was high drama in the Congress camp with senior party leader Susmita Dev expressing her resentment to the party leadership over allocation of several key seats in the Baruah Valley to ally AIUDF. There were initial rumors that Susmita Dev had quit from her post as All India Mahila Congress president, but the party later denied such reports. Nonetheless, the fact that there is dissension within the Congress came to the fore, with veteran leader Sarath Barkotaki telling journalists that he was upset over his son not being given party nomination. Another party leader, Siddiq Ahmed, said the Grand Alliance or the Mahajot may even crack if things are not corrected. Again, the day was dominated with leaders crossing floors at brisk pace. Paramananda Rajbongsi, former Assam Sahitya Sabha president, quit the Assam Gana Parishad to join the BJP. On the other hand, BJP leader from Golaghat, Bitupan Saikia, quit and joined the Congress, peeved over the party not considering him and given ticket to new entrant Ajanta Neog. Again, it is almost certain AGP founder president Prafulla Kumar Mahanta will side with the Congress and contest under the Mahajot banner. Several AGP leaders denied tickets are expected to join the Congress. Yes, viewers, as we await the Congress candidates list after a day of hectic deliberations at Hotel Taj Vivanta, still they have not been able to release the list. There was a virtual meeting where Sonia Gandhi, the party president, and top guns like Manmohan Singh attended the meeting from New Delhi virtually, along with the Congress leaders in Guwahati, headed by Jitendra Singh, the Congress observer for Assam elections, and the state president Ripun Bora. We have not yet seen the list. They are going to be released anytime. Absolutely, but until that, we will discuss the tea politics in Assam as far as 2021 elections are concerned. Yes, Assam's tea garden community is facing a political tug-of-war. Comprising nearly 20% of Assam's 3.5 crore population, the tea tribes community is being actively wooed by both the ruling BJP as well as the opposition Congress. These workers employed in the state's 1,000 organized tea plantations and hundreds of other small tea gardens in the unorganized sector have long voted almost en bloc for the Congress. But in recent years, the BJP has made inroads into the community after launching a number of welfare measures directed at them. During the 2019 Lok Sabha polls, the BJP fielded tea community leaders from the tea-dominated seats of Dibrugarh and Tejpur. And both the candidates, Rameshwar Telly in Dibrugarh and Pallab Losan Das, a young leader from Tejpur, won the seats. Of late, the Congress has embarked on a strategy to regain lost ground with the tea community. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi, during a recent tour of Assam, made 5 poll guarantees on behalf of her party. One of them was raising the daily wage of tea garden workers from the present Rs 217 to Rs 365 if voted to power. She also embarked on a photo opportunity, stepping into a tea garden and plucking leaves with a bamboo basket strapped to her head. Gandhi also visited the home of a tea garden worker to drive her point that the Congress, if voted to power, would be extra friendly to the community. The BJP has been citing its recent move to hike the wage from Rs 167 to Rs 217 a day as an interim measure. Besides, the BJP is harping on the free gas connection to tea garden families and an allocation of Rs 1,000 crore in the latest union budget for the tea community in Assam and West Bengal. Besides, the BJP also lists the 7.5 lakh bank accounts of tea community members which it has succeeded in opening across Assam. The big question is, which side will Assam's tea garden voters swing this time? After all, the community has the ability to influence the poll verdict in as many as 40 of the Assam's 126 assembly constituencies. To discuss the issue, I am joined from Dibrugarh by veteran Congress leader and former Assam Assembly Speaker Mr. Prithvi Majhi, also an important leader of the tea community. Also with me is BJP leader Mr. Bhagirath Karan. Joining me is Assam BJP Vice President Swapnanil Baruah. Also with me is Atmaram Kumar, a professor from Moran College. I also have BJP leader Teros Gowala joining me from Duliajan, and joining me is also Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, professor at Guwahati University and a well-known commentator. Gentlemen, welcome to Notice Tonight. First, let me go to you, Mr. Prithvi Majhi. This time, this is a very crucial election for your party. After being in power for 15 years, the BJP managed to oust you from power in 2016. After that, the BJP made considerable inroads into the tea garden community. You know it better than anybody else. the tea community can dominate the election results in more than 40 constituencies in Assam. There is a tug-of-war. Your party is also promising to hike the wages. My question is, would you be able to regain the trust of the tea community in Assam in these elections? Okay, okay, I think Mr. Prithvi Majhi has not heard my question there. You know, I would like to go once again to Mr. Teros Gwala. Teros Gwala जी जुड़े हुए हैं दुलियाजान से, बीजेपी का नेता है, he is contesting this time as well. टेरोस ग्वाला जी, पॉलिटिकल टग ऑफ वॉर में फंसे हैं टी कम्युनिटी. कांग्रेस भी सस्ता कोशिश कर रहा है कांग्रेस कि यू नो दैट दे कैन गेट द रीगेन द ट्रस्ट ऑफ द टी कम्युनिटी. आपका दल बीजेपी ने भी बड़ा ताकत लगा रहा है टी कम्युनिटी को वंस अगेन टू गेट द वर्डिक्ट. आपको क्या कहना है?
कांग्रेस का साथ अगर यदि बीजेपी के कंपेयर करता है तो ये तो गलत बात होगा, लेकिन क्योंकि कांग्रेस का साथ में हमारा टी ट्राइब्स कम्युनिटी और टी वर्कर साथ में था. जब से देश स्वाधीन हुआ तब से कांग्रेस के साथ में हमारा कम्युनिटी कांग्रेस के साथ में था. लेकिन दुखजनक बात यह है कि आप देखिए जो आसाम का जो इकोनॉमिक्स बिल्डअप किया है हमारा टी ट्राइब्स कम्युनिटी ने, हमारा टी वर्कर ने, लेकिन जो 30 साल 35 साल काम करने के बाद में अपना जो परिश्रम का जो प्रोविडेंट फंड का पैसा हो, ग्रेजुएटी हो, कोई भी हो, उसका डायरेक्ट नहीं मिलता रहा. कोई 2 नंबरी आदमी आ जाता रहा, उसका जो पैसा मिलता रहा वो खा जाता रहा. लेकिन अभी हम 3 महीना में 7.5 लाख वर्कर को बैंक अकाउंट खुल के परमानेंट कर दिया जाए. श्रमिक के जो लूटपाट चलता रहा उसको बंद करना चाहिए और उसका जो ड्यूज है वो थ्रो बैंक में मिलना चाहिए, और अभी हो रहा है. अभी सबसे बड़ा बात है, देखिए बगान का बात ऐसा है कि बगान का श्रमिक इलेक्शन के टाइम में अपना माँ बाप बन जाता है कोई भी पार्टी, स्पेशली कांग्रेस का एक स्लोगन था. yes. कांग्रेस का एक स्लोगन था जो कांग्रेस का हाथ दुखिया के भात बगानिया का माँ बाप बोलता रहा. लेकिन इलेक्शन के बाद में वो कांग्रेस वाला बगान का मालिक के सामने में हम लोग को छोड़ देता रहा. लेकिन अभी जो बीजेपी सरकार आने के बाद में हम लोग का अकाउंट खुलाया, 7.5 लाख वर्कर को बागान का रास्ता, लाइन का रास्ता बनाने के काम आरंभ किया, आईसीबीपी रोड बनाने का काम आरंभ किया. गर्भवती जो महिला है, महिला के लिए भी अभी जो मैटरनिटी लीव था वो 3 महीना से 6 महीना बढ़ाया गया है. जो टेम्पररी वर्कर था वो लोग को कुछ नहीं मिलता रहा, अभी वो लोग का भी 12,000 रुपया मिल रहा है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. टेम्पररी हो व परमानेंट हो, बहुत
ओके
परमानेंट.
ठीक है ग्वाला जी, आप लाइन में रहिए, मैं दोबारा आऊंगा आपके पास. Let me go to Mr. Prithvi Majhi, veteran leader of the Congress, former Assembly Speaker, and a very important leader of the tea community in Assam. Mr. Prithvi Majhi, you know, as I said in the beginning, there is a political tug-of-war going on between the Congress and the BJP to regain the trust, to get the votes of the tea community. Your party leader Priyanka Gandhi said that the Congress party will hike the wages to 365. But a lot of people are asking you the question, your party was in power for 15 years, why could not you hike the wage of the tea garden workers? How are you planning to get the votes or trust of the tea community in these elections?
Actually, the high increase of wage, it was announced by the BJP government, by the president, by the prime minister of the BJP party. They have declared that if we get the government, if we make the government, then I will provide within 100 days 350 rupees. It was made by them only. The fixation of wage is made by the employer and employees. Government is only to make the witness. That is the procedure. But it was made by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi before the election. Now, the Rahul Gandhi said and Priyanka Gandhi said, if they are proposing 350 rupees, then if our government will come, then we'll make 365. and that it will be a negotiation with the
Okay.
government and the management, the government and management. It was the fact.
Okay, I'll come back to Prithvi Majhi ji once again. Mr. Bhagirath Karan, who was a top leader of the Assam Sah Mazdoor Sangh, important Congress leader, but recently, in the last 15 days, he had left the Congress and joined the BJP. Bhagirath Karan, Mr. Prithvi Majhi is saying that the BJP came to power in 2016 with the promise that within 100 days, they are going to increase the the ways of the. So now seems to be a politics. The Congress was in power. They had always been talking about the tea community, but the ways was not hiked. Your party also promised that if you are voted to power within 100 days, that's what Prithvi Majhi is saying, that you will increase the hike the wages of the tea garden workers from 167 to 350 or 351 rupees. Now, what is your assessment in this election? The tea community, everybody is going to the tea community, the Congress and the BJP particularly.
Well, you rightly say that tea community is a big community. This community dominated more than 40 numbers of assembly seat. So definitely, this community, which party will get the support from this party, from this community, the party will form the government. And this time also, it will be happened. Whether the people of the community support BJP or not, it will be seen in the next few days. But I think definitely the people will support the BJP, because in case of wages increase, in case of development, in case of education, in case of health care, in case of sanitation, in case of housing, in this sector, the BJP is doing lot of works for this community. And in case of wage increase, you know that wage is generally fixed through bipartite negotiation. It is, the trade union as well as the management. But for the first time, this BJP government formed a committee which comprises the management, the trade union and the representative from the government. There are lots of discussion, and now government increases it is to 217, and with this fringe benefit it is around 350. So the promise is, I think the promise is fulfilled, and the workers also satisfied, and the coming days the workers or the tea tribes community will support the BJP wholeheartedly.
Okay, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, we have seen from many years, it's not a question of, I don't discriminate between the Congress and the BJP. All the political parties always try to woo a large chunk of the population like the tea community, which comprises 17% of Assam's population and has dominance in 40 seats or more in the Assam Assembly. Now my question to you, Akhil Ranjan Dutta, is simple. Do you think the beneficiary economy which all the political parties direct towards the tea garden community, give a free gas connection, increase their hike by a few rupees and so on and so forth, even the Congress did the same thing. Do you think that has kept the community backward? Do you think that is not the real way to look after the community, or do you think they are only considered as a vote bank?
Yes, I think they are considered as a vote bank. If you look at the policies being pursued by the government as far as the tea community is concerned, it is one, these are beneficiary driven. Two, it also keeps the tea community, people belonging to the tea tribes, chronically dependent on the government. It doesn't talk in terms of sustainable livelihoods. It doesn't talk in terms of the way they can be pursuing a dignified way of living. Now, what the government has been doing and doing it well, that the politics in Assam today is not based on issues. Politics in Assam is today dependent upon the communities. The government, all political parties have been trying their level best, to drive the communities as vote bank politics. In such a situation, I think although BJP government has taken a lot of initiatives, if you look at the budgetary allocations and so on and so forth, but qualitatively it is not different from that of the Congress regime.
Let me turn to Professor Atmaram Kumar, Professor Moran College, joining me live from Moran. Professor Atmaram Kumar, do you agree with what Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta has said? He said that, the tea community is being treated only as a vote bank. People come to them, offer them some benefits only with an aim of getting their votes during elections. And therefore, that is one of the reasons why the community, compared to other communities, are not as developed. This is something which has to go. Do you agree with him?
Well, by and large, I actually do agree with what Professor Datta says. Because every party is trying to pamper this tea community since the time of independence. But if you see, for the last 60 years, Congress was in power and it has been the vote bank of the Congress party. But they did not seem to have taken any kind of effective steps or any kind of long-term policy for the development of this community. And now not only BJP, of course, if you come to a kind of comparison, then of course, it seems that BJP is doing something good for the community. But still, I cannot see any kind of long-term, I said this in my earlier discussion also, that I cannot see any kind of long-term policy for the welfare and for economic development of this community. So it is simply treated as a vote bank, okay? And second thing is that, you see, I would like to add to this, that in the politics of this state, in terms of number, of course, the tea community plays a very deciding and crucial role.
Right.
But there is, of course, a kind of resentment, okay, among the people that out of the 35 to 40 seats in which the tea garden community plays a crucial role in the election, only 5 seats have been allocated by BJP this time.
Okay, let me get a response. Hold on, Professor Atmaram Kumar. I have Mr.
Yes,
Swapnanil Baruah, the Assam BJP Vice President with me. Please respond to what Professor Atmaram has said, that although the tea community dominates the election verdict in about 40 to 45 constituencies, your party, which is the ruling party at this point, has given tickets to only 5 candidates so far.
Well, I think I would rather prefer to go to the previous reference that we have only been talking about short-term gains and only trying to woo the community. It is nothing of this sort.
Not only the BJP, there is the general allegation against all the political parties.
Now the BJP is different, how I will tell you. Our whole approach now has to convert the whole tea industry from plucker to planter. Everyone should find representation from the tea community in that thing. So far, we have not found them in the management. We have not found them in the technical hands that are required in the factories. We have not found them in the hospitals. So now it has been a long-term policy of the government of Assam, especially the BJP government, to bring this change about which has not happened in the last 70 years.
I'll have to intervene here. Don't forget the fact, Mr. Swapnanil Baruah, that Assam has a population of 3.5 crore, of which the tea community comprises almost 20%.
Yes.
Now, how many people you are going to change from plucker to planter? You want to see them in the hospitals, you want to see them as doctors and engineers, and in the company management. But the vast majority will still be plucking, isn't it?
No, that is what we are trying to say. We are trying to gradually transform them into the ownership part of it. If you have seen the recent trends in the industry, if you look up, now the production part of it, the raw material component now will be left to the plant. I mean, you have to prepare those people for the coming days. That is going to be the industry.
Mr. Prithvi Majhi, is this a sound argument? You have heard the BJP Vice President, Mr. Baruah, saying that you have to transform from pluckers to planters. But my argument is that there were 20% of the people, it will not be easy. Yes, you can have some of the tea garden workers transformed into garden managers and so on, and employed in the garden hospitals. But what about the vast majority of people?
That is what he said, it is not actually correct, because the workers are not transformed to planters. Now see the employment positions in the tea gardens.
No, the process has started,
during the Congress times.
Please note that you don't expect overnight changes here.
Given
See, if you ask my colleague Terence Gwala, he will tell you how the process has changed, how the atmosphere has completely changed in the tea gardens, and how positively garden community is now coming to take part in the management of the, not only of the tea gardens, but also in the tea industry. And we have to prepare them for even in the marketing aspect of it. The schools have been opened, the conditions of living have been improved. So many scholarships are being given out. You can see that overall development of the community is in the agenda of BJP. Not only wages. Wages is definitely a very important issue.
Let me go to Teros Gwala ji. Mr. Who? Mr. Teros Gwala, Akhil Ranjan Dutta, I'm coming to you. Mr. Teros Gwala, you know, आपका क्या मानना है? आत्माराम कुमार, प्रोफेसर आत्माराम कुमार जी का कहना है कि you know, टी गार्डन कम्युनिटी का दखल 40 to 45 असेंबली सीट्स पर है, लेकिन आपका जो पार्टी है, आपका पार्टी ने सिर्फ 5 टी कम्युनिटी मेंबर को ही अब तक टिकट दिया है.
देखिए वासबीर दास, ये तो अपना पार्टी का हाईकमांड का, हमारा लीडर का डिसीजन है. फिर भी हमारा पार्टी हमारा कम्युनिटी के ऊपर में बहुत सा उसका हदिशा है, ये कुछ करने के लिए उसका भी बहुत ट्राई कर रहा है. हम अभी अखिल रंजन दा एक बात बताया, जब वोट बैंक, देखिए वोट बैंक था टी ट्राइब्स कम्युनिटी, लेकिन आज सबसे बड़ा बात है इस कम्युनिटी का अगर यदि अदर कॉम्पिटिटिवली अदर कम्युनिटी के साथ में अगर ये डेवलपमेंट करना है, फर्स्ट टाइम वी हैव टू स्टार्ट सोशल रिफॉर्म्स, एजुकेशन रिफॉर्म्स. हमारा आज तक बगान में गवर्नमेंट का स्कूल नहीं था, एलपी स्कूल था जो एज पर प्लांटेशन लेबर एक्ट जो था 1951 के मुताबिक स्कूल एक था. हमारा गवर्नमेंट
आने के बाद में जब चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब को हमने बोला, हम लोग ने बोला, बोलने के बाद में एक गोटा एक दिन असेंबली में टी ट्राइब्स कम्युनिटी एंड टी इंडस्ट्री टी वर्कर के ऊपर में पूरा डिस्कशन हुआ. रूलिंग एंड ऑपोजिशन ऑल एमएलए वर पार्टिसिपेट देयर. तो अभी मेरा कहने का बात है कि जो हम डिस्कस किया और डिबेट हुआ, उसका बाद में अभी गवर्नमेंट उसका पोस्टमार्टम किया और पॉलिसी अभी ऑलरेडी मेकिंग किया. और आप देखिए, जब फर्स्ट टाइम टी गार्डन में विद इन 5 years 119 हाई स्कूल का काम अभी चल रहा है. बाय मई 2021 ये स्कूल स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. और इससे सबसे बड़ा बात है, जो बगान का आदमी इतना दिन गुलामी भुटार के तरह रहता रहा, लेकिन अभी सबसे बड़ा बात है कि मर्यादा मिला है, सम्मान मिला है. एक देश के नागरिक होने के नाते जो देश में उसका प्राइपो है पाने के लिए अभी आता है. कोई भी एमएलए के घर में अभी जाइए, जो बगान का आदमी लोग वर्कर लोग सुबह में आके बोलता है हमको ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ऐसे बोलता है. लेकिन पहले तो कोई एमएलए के पास में जाता ही नहीं रहा कि वो लोग का विश्वास है गवर्नमेंट के पास में हम लोग का कुछ नहीं है, केवल वोट देना है. अभी इसलिए हर एक वो रूलिंग हो व अपोजिशन हो, कोई भी एमएलए के पास में जाए, अभी सबको मन में विश्वास है कि बीजेपी सरकार आने के बाद में कुछ करने के लिए वो चेष्टा कर रहे हैं और वो मिलेगा. देखिए सबसे बड़ा बात है.
राइट, आई एम कमिंग टू यू भगीरथ करण. Prithvi Majhi ji, would you like to respond to what Mr. Teros Gwala has said, that after the tea community has now gained confidence in the public representatives after the BJP has come to power? That is what Mr. Teros Gwala is saying.
That is not correct totally, because they have come, the BJP government has come promising that if will comes, then the tea community will progress. But you see, the tea gardens, when there was British regime, and after independence also, the position of the tea gardens laborers were very bad, and the Congress and Congress and trade unions have fight for their interest, for their upliftment, and that's why the many acts have been enacted. Many acts have come up.
Okay.
And now what Gwala is saying, hear me, saying that we are constructing 119 high school. That is, but what about the LP school? I have visited Thavra constituency and the part of some areas of the Shivsagar district.
Okay.
Now so many schools have been closed already, LP school.
Okay,
and the condition of LP school is very.
Okay, that is the point. That is the point you are making, Prithvi Majhi.
The LP schools are not
I
even
just want 1
provincialized.
minute.
Not
बताइए, ग्वाला जी
provincialized.
बताइए.
Yet.
देखिए, सबसे माजी साहब ने बहुत अच्छा बात बोल रहा है कि वो स्पीकर भी था, डेप्यूटी स्पीकर भी, उसका गवर्नमेंट में हमारा 12-14 एमएलए था, सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर था, एमपी था, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा बात है 1951 के मुताबिक जो एलपी स्कूल था वो स्कूल अभी तो कमी नहीं बना, लेकिन अभी जो हमारा मॉडल स्कूल आ रहा है, मॉडल स्कूल रहा है, हमारा गवर्नमेंट बोल रहा है ये मॉडल स्कूल एक्चुअली क्वालिटी एजुकेशन इस स्कूल से आएगा। जब तक एजुकेशन डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा तब तक इस कम्युनिटी के डेवलपमेंट का बात संभव नहीं है। अभी माजी साहब ने बोल रहा है ये ठीक है, लेकिन माजी साहब ने ये भी बात याद करना है जो बगान का गर्भवती महिला आता है, जब शादी होके आता है तो टेम्पररी अगर यदि
वर्क का है, लेडीज के बहू बन के आने के बाद में जब प्रेग्नेंट होता है, वो सास का व ससुर का बदली में जब काम लेने के बाद में 7 महीना 8 महीना पेट में बच्चा लेके वो काम करता है, पाता तोड़ने जाता है, आपका क्या कॉलम काटने के लिए जाता है, लेकिन अभी तक वो मैटरनिटी जो लीव था वो लीव क्यों नहीं बढ़ाया गया? हमरा बताइए क्यों बढ़ाया नहीं गया?
Okay, these are specific points which Mr. Teros Gwala has raised. Why would during the Congress they did not think about maternity leave for the tea garden workers, for pregnant women who still had to pluck leaves in that kind of a condition? I'm coming to you, Mr. Bhagirath Karan. Mr. Bhagirath Karan, you know, the BJP has come up. The BJP has said that, you know, they have managed to open 7.5 lakh bank accounts. They've said that the union government has allocated 1,000 crore to the tea garden workers in Assam and West Bengal. They are now saying that you have given free gas connection. Do you think this is enough to once again get the support of the tea community? Are you going to your community people asking for votes in 2020 election only on the basis of these things, or there are some other issues as well?
Yes. The works done by this government, you can say that it is not sufficient. It is now starting. It is starting. In the coming days, we have to do a lot of works. One gentleman said that what are the long-term policy. So we have to think about this long-term policy also, like construction of house, allotment of land, distribution of patta, for various type of scheme for self-employment. These are the long-term. So we have to do this line also. And another is that regarding the wage, you know that government is already introduced one code of wage. That means through code of wage there will be a national policy on wages. In the coming days there will be one amount for the whole country. So it will also definitely help.
Okay,
I think another area we have expanded is to the ex-tea garden areas also.
Yeah.
We have not confined ourselves just to the tea gardens, but also extended.
Ex-tea garden areas. Okay,
I'll
have to go for a break, Doctor. I'll have to go for a break, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta. You want to say something? Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta.
See, if you look at the BJP's policies, definitely they have been trying to capture the community as a vote bank, solid vote bank, and they have been successful in this regard in the context that they have failed in many other promises. For example, giving ST status to 6 communities. In such a situation, they have been trying to do some welfare to the tea community. That cannot be denied. But the way the BJP spokesperson, vice president, and the MLA Teresa has been telling, it's not that they have been doing it for to bring about a sustainable kind of welfare of the community. There have been a lot of rhetorics in it. My question is, if you are doing that, why have you failed the very important promise, very core promise that you have given 5 years back, that the tea workers will be given 365 daily wage? You have failed in the very core promise itself. And you are not fulfilling that, and you have been talking about
when I come back from the break, I will take a reply from Mr. Bhagirath Karan and Mr. Teros Gwala. But finally, before I go to Atmaram Kumar, do you think there is genuineness in the promises made by the political parties? You have seen the promises made by the Congress. You have seen the promises made by the BJP. BJP is, of course, gone ahead. Since they are the ruling party, they are saying that they have opened 7.5 lakh bank accounts. Do you think that is going to transform the future of the tea garden people?
So far as the promises are concerned, you say Well, there is of course a difference between will be and what is. So Congress is promising for giving 365 rupees or so after they come to power. So which is of course we don't know whether they are going to come to power or not. But I see that partially the BJP government has done something which they had promised. So in that sense, comparatively, of course, the
Saying
tea
what?
garden people will have some confidence in what the BJP says. But I would like to add, Mr. Hussain, that BJP is also doing something at the end.
Okay, we have
Their
breaking news coming
beginning.
in. We have breaking news coming in. Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi. Let's listen into what Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi has said. It is obviously regarding the Congress during the day's deliberations. I have not been told what the bite is about, but I presume it's live. Let's go to Gaurav Gogoi. Listening.
টাইমটো লাইক না মিটিং কৈছে নাই আমাৰ মিটিং সম্পূৰ্ণ চৰ্চা আলোচনা কেতিয়াবাই সম্পূৰ্ণ দিল্লীৰ পৰাহে আমাৰ দিল্লী হেডকোৱাৰ্টাৰ্ছ পৰাহে অফিচিয়েল হেণ্ডেলৰ ওপৰত লিষ্ট ওলাব যিহেতু অফিচিয়েল হেণ্ডেলৰ লিষ্টবিলাক ওলাব আৰু অলপ টাইম লাগিব পাৰে হবে টেকনিক্যাল বস্তুখিনি কিন্তু আলোচনা কেতিয়াবাই শেষ কিন্তু মোৰ মতে অলপ ৰাতি হ'ব আৰু সেইকাৰণে মই আপোনালোকে প্ৰশ্নটো সুধি আছে মই কৈছোঁ খুব ভালদৰে আমাৰ এটা পৰিৱেশ এটাত আমাৰ আলোচনাখিনি চলি আছে
All right, you have heard that was Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi saying that the list of the first list of the Congress candidates will be declared from the Congress party headquarters in New Delhi. It will come in the official social media handles of the party. Earlier, short while ago, top Congress leaders had told Notice Live that the meeting was going on at the Taj Vivanta in Guwahati and that the list will be declared at a different hotel within the city. But now we have heard Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi saying that the list of candidates will be released only from New Delhi in the party's official handle. Mr. Prithvi Majhi, what do you think is happening? Why is the Congress delaying so much in releasing the party tickets? Earlier in the day, there were a lot of dissension within the party. Susmita Dev saying that she was not happy with the party giving so many tickets to the AIUDF. Prithvi Majhi, what is your reaction?
Actually, these times there are so many aspirants for Congress ticket, and delaying is there is some problems also within the party. The newcomers, the youths, they are also coming, and the old persons. Actually, there is a difference within our party's aspirant. The youths are given importance. That is correct, but the senior person should not be neglected, and that's why there is a tussle somewhere, and
right.
The candidate is going on, and that's why it's delay. And I think today, this night will be declared.
Absolutely. Senior Congress leader Prithvi Majhi, they are saying that there is a lot of aspirations within the party for tickets, both young aspirants who are new faces, they are also aspiring to get party tickets, besides of course the old guard also aspiring for tickets. We'll go for a short break. Don't go away. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I will go to my reporter on the ground, Joydeep Hazarika. who is standing by at Taj Vivanta. This has been a day of brisk political developments. Congress camp viewers, the Congress camp has not been able to release the party's first list of candidates so far. Earlier during the day, Susmita Dev expressed a resentment over the allocation of several key seats to the AIUDF in the Barak Valley. And now we have just heard Gaurav Gogoi, the party MP, Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi, saying that the party's list will be released from New Delhi in the official social media handles. That is what we have heard. Earlier, the party leader said that the list will be released in a city hotel after the leaders shift from from Taj Vivanta, where they have been confabulating the entire day, but that did not happen. Now Gaurav Gogoi is saying the list will be released in New Delhi. I will go to my colleague Joydeep Hazarika, who is standing by Taj Vivanta. Joydeep, if you are there, what is the update? Joydeep, what is going on? It seems the Congress is not going to release the tickets in Guwahati. They have shifted the venue to New Delhi.
Yes, Wasbir, it seems quite unlikely that now the seats or the first list would be announced in a formal press conference here in Guwahati, because a while back Gaurav Gogoi talked to the media and he said that the list would be released in the official website of the party, the Congress party. So keeping in mind that the entire day has been nothing less than a roller coaster ride of drama from various angles, and the meeting which has been going on for throughout the day has seen a lots of ups and downs, lots of disagreements. So keeping these things in mind, the Congress, they just want to make sure that the list is out somehow. Gaurav Gogoi also made it clear while talking to the press that the discussion is over. Yeah, he made it quite clear that the discussion is over, the meeting is over. There is no more to talk on this matter. They are now just waiting for the approval of Delhi. So now that the Assam Congress has thrown the ball in the court of the Delhi High Command, the Congress High Command.
All right.
Once they approve of the list, the list will be out. Now we're not sure yet if they will have a formal press conference, as is the norm, while announcing the list of candidates for the first list. But yes, it is being expected that at least that list, once it is out, it will be found in the official website of the Congress party.
We'll have to wait and watch. Joydeep Hazarika, thank you for the time being. Please stand by there, because we'll come back to you in our subsequent bulletins, but try to catch as many senior leaders as possible to get their reaction, what really is happening. Let's listen into what senior Congress leader Pradyut Bordoloi told journalists waiting at the Taj Vivanta a short while ago.
Nomination আৰম্ভ হোৱাৰ ভালকৈ আগতে ওলাব। ইমান ডাঙৰ ৰাজনৈতিক দলে মাৰিহে তালিকাখন উলিয়াব। যিখিনি কোনো মতানৈক্য হোৱা নাই, এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা ডাঙৰ বিশাল ৰাজনৈতিক দলত যাৰ একেবাৰে পাতাললৈকে শিপা আছে, অলপ কাৰোবাৰ খুব বেদনা থাকিবও পাৰে, সেইবিলাক আজিতো এখন তালিকা ওলাব, এই বিষয়ে মই নিশ্চিত।
Okay, Pradyut Bordoloi, senior Congress leader, they are saying that it is natural to have differences in a big party like the Congress. He said that it is certain that at least one list is going to be declared tonight. Let's come back to our discussion where we are discussing tea politics. Viewers, as we know that the tea garden community comprises at least 17 to 20% of Assam's total population and has dominance in 45 assembly constituencies, which is a very large figure. Let me go to you, Mr. Prithvi Majhi. Do you think for the Congress to make a good performance in these elections, do you think the votes of the tea community will be crucial?
In these elections, I think the tea people will make a very good result in the tea areas, because there were the slogans in the BJPs before elections that parivartans, everything will be changed if they will come. But nothing has happened, and therefore the tea peoples and ex-tea peoples are offended, because they have promised to schedule these peoples. It has not been done. They are
Right.
saying say, about the education, but not up to mark. They are saying say, about the hospital, health sector. Nothing has been. Yes, they are saying that they have made road, but
Okay.
these roads they are in the Congress regime. The roads construction road was started, and the government is a continuous process. And we have started, they are doing. So that is the different.
Okay.
But
Let me.
no extraordinary things have not been done. Yes, that's why this health, there's health, education, employment. They are not even trying to make employment generation
All right.
in the youths.
Okay.
So
this is the point of view is saying that not much of employment generation has been done. Prithvi Majhi, please hold your thoughts. I'll come. Let me go to Teros Gwala ji. Mr. Teros Gwala, ये बताइए कि आपका जो अभी 11 सिटिंग एमएलए, आपके दल का 11 सिटिंग एमएलए को टिकट नहीं दिया गया है. बीटीसी एरिया में आपका एक न्यू मित्र दल है यूपीपीएल. पहले बीपीएफ ने 13 सीट कॉन्टेस्ट किया था, 12 में उन्होंने जीत हासिल किया था 2016 में. नाउ यूपीपीएल को दिया गया है 8 सीट. नाउ डू यू थिंक आपका दल का लिए टी गार्डन कम्युनिटी का वोट इट विल बी वेरी क्रूशियल? ये आपका बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होगा टी गार्डन कम्युनिटी का वोट आपका बीजेपी का लिए इस बार.
वाजबीर दा, ये तो टिकट वाला जो मामला है ये तो हमारा पार्टी डिसीजन लेगा, पॉलिसी डिसीजन लेगा. वो तो हम तो उतना ऊपर का लीडर नहीं है
जी.
फिर भी आर दो एक टिकट मिलने से बहुत अच्छा लगता रहा, क्योंकि अभी भी बहुत एफिशिएंसी हमारा टी टाइप्स कम्युनिटी से कैंडिडेट रहने वाला था, जिज्ञावान था, लेकिन नहीं मिला. ये तो दुखजनक बात है. फिर भी मिलने से और अच्छा होता रहा. फिर भी अभी देखिए बीटीएडी में हमारा जीतू किसान भाई को माधवाड़ से टिकट मिला है, कृष्णा कमल को रंगापाड़ा से मिला है. तो फिर भी आप जी हमारा पास में दल जाती एक सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर भी अपना है, राज्यसभा में भी एमपी अपना है, लोकसभा में भी एक एमपी है. फिर भी और एमएलए थोड़ा होना चाहिए. और हमारा मुख्यमंत्री से भी रिक्वेस्ट है, हमारा पार्टी से भी रिक्वेस्ट है जो नेक्स्ट इन डेफिनेटली कंसीडर करेगा कि अभी जो न्यू कमिंग जनरेशन आ रहा है बहुत टैलेंट से आ रहा है, बहुत दायित्वशील से आ रहा है. तो हमारा भी विश्वास है नेक्स्ट ये भी एडजस्टमेंट हो जाएगा. फिर भी टिकट वाला जो मामला है तो हमारा पास का नहीं है. फिर भी हम लोग रिक्वेस्ट, हमारा भी रिक्वेस्ट है गवर्नमेंट, हमारा पार्टी के पास में.
Of course. Now, Mr. Professor Atmaram, I'm coming to you, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta. Professor Atmaram, how important will be the tea garden votes in 2021 for both the Congress as well as the BJP? And do you think it is more important for the Congress, or the tea garden votes are more important for the BJP this time, according to your assessment?
No, of course, you are absolutely right. The tea garden people are going to play the most. Hello?
Yes, carry on.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes. Tea garden people are, going to play very crucial role this time also. You see, they are important for the Congress as well as for the BJP. And if BJP really wants to come to power, they will have to satisfy the tea garden people. Otherwise, I don't think, because, the political scenario of the present time in the state, there is a lot of division. New political parties have been formed, and they are also taking some roots in the society. So these things will have their impact upon the election this time. So that's why, this is the reason why Congress as well as BJP and even the new political parties, they are also trying to get inroads into the tea garden people, among the people.
Okay, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, how important will be the votes of the tea community? Now the question is, both the BJP, do you think BJP as the ruling party has a better chance to attract the tea garden communities, or do you think that is not always the case, and do you think the Congress also cannot be taken lightly?
I think BJP is in advantageous position. We need to remember that the RSS has been working with the tea communities for decades together. Shift of tea communities' loyalty from the Congress to BJP happened not only because of BJP's promises. It has also happened because of decades-long work done by the organization like RSS. But the most important thing we need to understand is this: that when you think that a community will vote en bloc or en mass, there is something fundamentally wrong in the whole process of development itself. Why do you expect that a community will vote en masse for you or for en bloc for you? You can think in that way because the people have not been allowed to think independently,
Okay.
to think in a competitive manner, because they have been reduced to be chronically dependent on government-led schemes, and BJP has been successful in co-opting, the aspiring political class. That has helped BJP to gain more, loyalty or more, political leverage compared to BJP today. In my assessment, probably in this election, BJP is still in an advantageous
Okay,
position.
let me go to Prithvi Majhi. Mr. Prithvi Majhi, do you agree that BJP is the ruling party, therefore BJP is in an advantageous position to garner the support of the tea community? That is what commentator and Professor Akhil Ranjan Dutta is saying.
From my opinions, and I think that the BJP has no such advantage, because the tea gardens laborers and tea garden communities and even in general people, what they think, the lower class thinks that how they will be their living condition, how they will get the food, how they will get the clothes, what will be the purchasing power. You see, during the Congress times, the purchasing power of these people, downtrodden people, was very high. But now, due to price hike in all respects, in oil and in gas, in everything, the price is so high, going high and high. So the purchasing power is going down and down. That's why these times they will not vote against the BJP. They will vote for Congress. So far, my assessment goes.
Okay, Mr.
My
Swapnanil Baruah, do you agree to Prithvi Majhi's assessment?
They have promised a lot of promise, but not done, not yet done.
But you have promised, but not fulfilled many of the promises. That's what Prithvi Majhi is saying, and he's saying that 2016 first promise was to increase the increase the wages from 167 to 365.
If you have looked at the rise of wages, it has risen from 96 rupees to this much that has come to today. And that is more than a nearly 150% increase in the 5 years that we have achieved, which is an unprecedented increase in the ever history of wage negotiations in the tea industry. Secondly, there was a talk about this en bloc voting. It is not the question of en bloc voting, but we as a BJP have catered to every section of the tea community. My colleague Bhagirath Karan has been a member of the APSC. Please ask him how much candidates appeared in the APSC exam in his tenure while he was there. And at the present day, when we have nearly had about 5 or 6 people making it to the ACS class 1 from the tea garden community, and that too from the poorest section without having to approach anybody. Sheerly on their own merit, they have been able to do it.
I'll come to Mr. Bhagirath Karan, but Teres Gwala ji, आपका अंत में क्या कहना है? You are yourself a candidate. आप खुद एक उम्मीदवार है, तो क्या कहेंगे? आपका उम्मीद क्या है?
देखिए वाजबीर दा, सबसे बड़ा बात है कि जो वेज एग्रीमेंट के बात बोल रहा है, लास्ट टाइम एक ट्रेडिशन था कि ट्रेड यूनियन और मालिक ओनर एसोसिएशन इसको एग्रीमेंट करता रहा, लेकिन फर्स्ट टाइम हमारा गवर्नमेंट आके जो 65 इयर्स में जितना 137 था, लेकिन हम 5 साल में 80 रुपीज बढ़ाया है, और उसलिए हमारा विश्वास है डेवलपमेंट के लिए फिर गवर्नमेंट बीजेपी का आएगा, बगान का जो लोग है बीजेपी के वोट डालेगा, क्योंकि हर समाज, हमारा जो आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री का मूल स्लोगन है सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास, ये नीति से हमारा मुख्यमंत्री सर्बानंद सोनोवाल जी और नेडा का कन्वीनर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी बहुत जोरदार से ये काम कर रहा है, इसलिए हमारा भी विश्वास है इस बार बगान का वोट 90 to 95% बीजेपी मित्रजोट गवर्नमेंट में पार्टी आएगा और हमारा गवर्नमेंट बनेगा, ये हमारा विश्वास है.
Okay, very confident. Bhagirath Karanji, do you agree with what your colleague Teres Gwala has said? Because you have seen both sides. You know exactly the Congress strategy because you are a strategist of the Congress party until recently, because you are also a top leader with the Assam Farmers Dusang. You are the vice president of the Congress party. You are the party spokesman. and so on and so forth. You know both sides of the coin. You may be 15 to 20 days in the BJP, but you have already understood the politics of the BJP. So what is your unbiased and independent assessment this time? What will be the impact of the tea community as far as 2021 elections? Final comments.
As I think, election is depend on organization. BJP has a strong organization base from top to grassroots level. From that point of view, it is an advantage position for BJP. Second, the performance of the government. Everyone knows that the performance of the government is very good, particularly in the tea garden area. Since independence, this government is doing lot of things for the tea garden community. And third, the candidate. More or less, the candidates are good as announced yet. So I think that on basis of these three factors, BJP will come to the power again.
Okay, these are the three factors the BJP will come to power. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, final comments.
I think it will depend on how Congress, Congress can, go to the tea community, because Prithvi Majhi has pointed out one very important thing regarding the price hike. Even if you have been giving a lot of schemes to the tea communities, but are they benefiting or are they helping the tea community to deal with the price hike? Is there balance between the two? If Congress can go with these issues and can organize the people, I think Congress has also some chances.
Okay, Professor Atmaram Kumar, final comments. 20 seconds.
Yes, I think the BJP has a great advantage over the other parties because, as you mentioned, some kind of moral boosting has been done. They have also made inroads, and some kind of facilities, of course, have been given by them. And so I think that this time, of course, it is a great advantage for the BJP over Congress. I think so.
Last word to Mr. Prithvi Majhi, former Speaker of the Assam Assembly, Congress leader, very senior Congress leader, Mr. Prithvi Majhi. Final comments.
The voters, what they expect? They expect the good governments. They expect how they pull their life with their earnings. And if again I say, when there is a price rise, they are not able to buy what they want. If they cannot get food, if they cannot make their lives styles to improve, how they can vote one party. You see, when there was a Congress government, the Congress government, lots of acts were made for their interest. Purchasing power was very high. Now everything is going down and down and down.
All right.
They are promising and promising, but nothing is going.
We'll have to wait and watch. But yes, the fact that there is a tug-of-war, political tug-of-war with both the BJP and the Congress trying to pull the tea community to their side, there is no doubt about that, because in this panel itself, we had several BJP members and a veteran Congress leader belonging to the community. From what they have said, their conversation, their points and counterpoints, it has been very clear that there is a pull of the community from both sides, the BJP and the Congress, and we are talking about a population that is as much as 17% of the state's total number of people, which is a huge community. We'll have to wait and watch as to how the tea community votes this time round, but this has been the focus always since election, because this is a large community and they are known to vote en bloc at times. I thank all my panelists for participating in this discussion and the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.